Okay, so welcome everyone to our all levels flow. Today, let's start in a seated position. If you've got a blanket or pillow that you might like to use to sit up onto, then you can set that up. But that's just an option, and you can just sit directly onto your mat. And then let's, start to connect with our breath. Just taking this moment here to arrive onto our mat. Noticing how you're breathing today. Noticing the quality of your breath. Doing a bit of a body scan. And just noticing and feeling all the different sensations that are happening in the body right now. And then let's set our hands right in front of us. And just start to walk the hands forward any amount. We'll just take a passive forward fold. Feeling a stretch across the back body. Maybe rooting down through the sit bones a little more. And then slowly walking hands back in towards you. Sitting up nice and tall. Let's reach the arms out wide. Right, and flip the palms up towards the ceiling. Notice if you're just lifting up through the ribs and just hug the low ribs in. Keep extending out through the fingertips. Start to bend into the wrists, turning the fingertips down towards the mat. Maybe start to notice the sensation of stretch across the inner lines of the arms. You relax the shoulders, extend out through the wrists. See if you can just turn the fingertips down towards the mat a little more. And then flipping the palms up. Start to curl the fingers in. Wrap the thumbs around the fingers, making a fist. Start to turn the knuckles up towards the ceiling. Right, maybe feeling a sensation of stretch across the outer lines of the arms. Again, relax the shoulders, knit the low ribs in, keep sitting up nice and tall, and then release the hands. Let's lower the arms down. Maybe just do a couple of shoulder rolls here. And let's reach the arms out wide once again. Lifting up through the crown of the head. Start to twist to the right. Pause in your twist. Start to drop the right arm back behind you, sweeping the left arm up. Rise up through your twist, and then lower the left arm down and sweep the right arm up. Rising back up. Let's do those stretches once again. Lower the left or right hand back, reach the left arm up, and then rising up through your twist. Leaning forward and setting the left hand down, stretching the right arm over. And one last time, coming up through your twist, right hand back behind you, stretching that left arm up and over, and then rising back up, lowering that left hand down, and stretching the right arm up and over. Coming back up into your twist, and then unwind back to center, and just lower the arms down to your sides. Maybe take a moment here just to notice how the right side of the body feels compared to the left. And then we'll set up for the other side. Let's reach the arms out wide once again. Get tall through the spine and start to twist to the left. And then in our twist, start to lower the left hand back. Reach that right arm up, rising up into your twist. And let's set that left hand down in front and sweep the left arm up and over. Rise back up. And let's do that 2 more times. Left arm down and back, stretching the right arm up and over. Coming up through your twist, lowering the right hand and stretching the left arm over. 1 more time, rising up, leaning back, stretch that right arm back. Coming back up into your twist, and then setting the right hand down in front and sweeping that left arm over. And then coming back up, let's unwind to center and then lowering the arms down. Maybe a couple of shoulder rolls here. And then let's make our way into tabletop. And we'll cycle through a few cat-cows. Spreading fingers wide. Shoulders either stacked above wrists or slightly behind. Knees about hip distance, and either toes are tucked under or tops of the feet are on the mat. Whether you prefer to inhale or exhale as you make your way towards cow, on your next breath, start to scoop the spine and drop the belly. Send your heart forward and take your gaze up. On your next breath, rounding through the spine, lower the head and tuck the tailbone, stretching across the back body. And then making your way into cow. And just continue to cycle between cat and cow, right? Going at your pace, creating waves through the spine. And then coming back to center, let's extend the right leg out behind. Flex the foot and toes point down towards the mat. Start to outer rotate that right leg and sweep the right leg out to the side. And then lower the foot down. Walk the hands in towards you. And then rising up, sweeping arms up and over. Let's lower the right hand onto the outer right thigh and take a side bend, right? Stretch across the left side body. Let's rise back up to center and stretch both arms up. And then sweeping hands down onto the mat. Lift that right leg up. Sweep it out behind you. Take it past the left leg and bend into the right knee. Tuck the knee behind the left. And then just sit the hips back any amount. And then let's shift forward, untuck the right leg, and let's do that same flow on the other side. Extend the left leg out behind you. Outer rotate the left leg and sweep it over to the left. Lower the foot down and walk hands in. Sweeping arms up and over. Let's lower the left hand onto the left thigh, taking that side bend across the right side body. Rise back up, reaching both arms up, and then sweeping hands down onto the mat. Let's lift the left leg up, sweep it out behind us. Take it past the right leg and tuck that left knee behind the right. Sit the hips back for just a little stretch through the hips, and then shifting forward and untuck the knees. And let's do that again on the other side. Extend the right leg out behind you. Outer rotate the leg and sweep it over to the right. Set the foot down and walk the hands in. Sweeping arms up and over. Let's take gate pose here. Right hand onto the leg. Stretch the left side. Sweeping arms up and over. Set them down onto the mat. Let's lift the right leg up. Sweep it out behind. Take it past the left leg and bend the knee. Tuck the right knee behind the left. Sitting hips back any amount. Shifting forward and untuck the knees. And again, let's go to the left. Kick the left leg out behind. Flex the foot. Outer rotate the leg. Sweep it out to the left. Setting that left foot down. Walking hands in towards you. Rising up. Stretching arms up and over. Lower the left hand onto the thigh. Taking that side bend. Reach that right arm over. Rise back up to center. And let's set the hands back down onto the mat. Lift that left leg up. Take it out behind you. Take it past the right knee. Bend into the left knee and tuck it behind the right. And just sit the hips back for a little stretch. And let's shift forward once again towards our tabletop. And let's do that one more time on each side. Kick the right leg out. Flex the foot. Outer rotate the leg. Sweep it over to the right. Set the foot down. Walk the hands in and rise up. Reaching arms up and over. Taking your side bend here. Reaching that left arm over. Rise back up to center and stretch both arms back up. Sweeping hands back down. Let's lift the right leg up. Take it out behind you. Send it past the left leg. Bend the right knee and tuck it behind the left. Sit the hips back any amount. Shifting forward and untuck the legs. And one more time on the left side. Let's extend the left leg out behind. Flex the foot. Outer rotate the leg. Sweep it over to the left. Lower the foot down. Walk the hands in. Rising up tall. Stretching both arms up. Taking that side bend here. Reach across the right side. Rising back up to center. Sweeping hands back down onto the mat. Lift that left leg up. Take it out behind you. Past the right leg. Bend the left knee. Tuck it behind the right. And sit the hips back. Let's shift forward into our tabletop. And then stepping both feet back. Finding your plank. And lift the hips up and back. Coming into your downward dog. Maybe pedal the feet out a few times in this downward dog. Lengthen the spine and take the hips up. Come back to center. And let's bend the knees deeply. Looking forward to the hands. Hop or walk to the top of the mat for forward fold. Let's lift up halfway and lengthen the spine. Keep the back of the neck long. Find your forward fold once again. Push feet down into the mat. Coming up to standing and circle arms up and over. And right away, start to dive forward once again. Coming back into standing forward fold. Lift and lengthen halfway. Folding forward once again. Let's plant the hands and step both feet back. Finding your plank, either knees up or knees down. And then lower all the way down onto the mat. Untuck the toes. Hands by the low ribs. Press the tops of the feet down and start to curl up into your back bend. And then lower all the way back down. And let's do that 2 more times. Pulling hands towards the back of the mat. Send the heart forward and curl up. And let's lower back down. Last time, lifting up through the crown of the head, keeping the back of the neck long, and then lowering back down. And push back into tabletop. Let's walk the hands over to the right side of the mat and step that left foot forward next to the hands. Tuck the right toes under. And let's sweep both arms up and over for low lunge. Start to lift that right knee up off the mat, bending into elbows, taking cactus arms. Right? Start to reach both arms up overhead for your high lunge. And then sweeping hands down onto the mat, step the right foot forward, coming into standing forward fold. Lift and lengthen halfway, folding forward over the legs, and then rise up to stand, stretching arms up and over. Start to hinge forward. Make your way into standing forward fold. Rise up halfway, extend out through the crown of the head. Fold forward and plant the hands, stepping both feet back, finding your plank. Again, knees up or knees down. Lower all the way down onto the mat. Untuck the toes. This time take hands under the shoulders. And then on your next breath, start to curl up. Lift the legs off the mat and lift the hands off the mat. Maybe lift everything up a little higher. Keep breathing. And then lowering back down. Hands by the low ribs. Push back into your tabletop. And we'll do that same flow on the other side. Walking hands over to the left side of the mat. And let's step that right foot forward. Left toes are tucked under. Reaching arms up and over for your low lunge. Start to lift that left knee up off the mat, bending into elbows for cactus arms. And then sweeping both arms up for high lunge. Let's take both hands down onto the mat and step that left foot forward, coming into standing forward fold. Let's lift and lengthen halfway. Fold forward and plant the hands, stepping the feet back, finding your plank, and then lower down onto the mat. Untuck the toes, hands under the shoulders, and let's start to rise up, lifting legs and lifting hands off the mat, and holding and breathing here. And then lower back down. Hands by the low ribs, pushing back into your tabletop. And let's start to add on to our flow. Walking hands to the right side of the mat. Step that left foot forward, tucking the right toes under. Let's sweep the arms up and over. Let's twist to the left, stretching arms out wide. Start to lift that right knee up off the mat for twisting high lunge. Start to lower that left arm down. Reach the right arm up. And then windmill both hands down onto the mat and step your right foot forward next to the left. Forward fold. Come up halfway. Right, pull the shoulders down the back. Fold forward and pressing feet down into the mat. Come back up to stand. Circle arms up and over and folding forward once again. Lifting up halfway, folding forward and planting hands. Let's step the feet back, coming into plank. Again, option knees up or knees down. Come all the way down onto the mat. Untuck the toes. Arms to your sides with the palms face up. And on your next breath, lift the arms, lift the legs, extend out through the crown of the head. Maybe send the heart forward, and holding and breathing. And then let's lower all the way down. Hands by the low ribs. Push up into your tabletop. And we'll do that same flow, other side. Walk hands to the left side of the mat. Step that left foot or right foot forward, right? Left toes are tucked under. Sweeping arms up and over for low lunge. Let's twist to the right, arms out wide. Lower the right hand back. Stretch that left arm up. Rise back up to center. Start to lift the left knee up. And then let's windmill the hands down onto the mat and step that left foot forward next to the hands. Lift and lengthen halfway. Let's fold forward and then rising up to standing. Circle arms up and over and right away, making your way back into standing forward fold. Lift and lengthen halfway. Folding forward and planting hands. Stepping feet back. Finding your plank. Again, knees up or knees down. Lower down onto the mat. Untuck your toes. Arms to your sides. Palms face up. Next breath, curl up. Lifting arms and lifting legs away from the mat. Maybe taking everything up a little higher. And then lowering all the way back down. Hands by the low ribs. And push back into child's pose. Just taking a moment here to pause. Connecting with your breath. Noticing how you're breathing in this moment. Noticing how you're feeling. And then shifting forward into tabletop. All right, let's start to add on a little more. Let's walk hands over to the right side of the mat. Step that left foot forward. Sweeping arms up and over for low lunge. Let's twist to the left. Tucking the right toes under. Lift that right knee up. Right, finding your twisting lunge. Start to lower that left arm down. Stretching the right arm up. Rise up through your twist. And let's plant the right hand down and stretch that left arm up. Planting the left hand down onto the mat. Start to walk the hands towards the top of the mat. Start to lean forward, shifting the weight forward, maybe coming up onto the right toes. And then step that right foot forward next to the left, coming into your standing forward fold. Lifting up halfway, unfurl the spine and send the heart forward. Coming back down into your forward fold. Let's rise up to stand, circling arms up and over, hinging forward, coming back down into standing forward fold. Lift and lengthen halfway. Fold forward and plant the hands. Stepping the feet back. Coming into your plank. Again, knees up or knees down. Lower down onto the mat. Untuck the toes. And let's take arms to your sides. This time, palms face down. And then on your next breath, start to lift the arms and legs up. Right? Lift up through the crown of the head. Keep the back of the neck long. Extend out through the fingers. Extend out through the toes. And then lower all the way back down. Hands by the low ribs. And let's push back into our tabletop. And we'll do that same flow on the other side. Walking hands to the left side of the mat. Step the right foot forward next to the hands. Sweeping arms up and over for low lunge. Let's twist to the right. Tuck the left toes under. Start to lift that left knee up off the mat. Lowering that right arm back. And then rise back up into your twist. Leaning forward and planting that left hand down, stretching the right arm up. Let's plant the right hand down and then taking hands forward in front of the foot, right, maybe towards the top of the mat. Start to lean forward, shifting your weight forward, maybe coming up onto the left toes, and then step that left foot forward next to the right. Right, coming into forward fold once again. Rise up halfway. Lengthen the spine. Pull the shoulder blades back. Fold forward. And then rising up to stand. Reaching arms up and over. And again, right away, dive back forward. Right, coming into standing forward fold. Lift and lengthen halfway. Fold forward and plant the hands. Let's step the feet back, coming into plank. Again, knees up or knees down. Lower all the way down onto the mat. Untuck the toes, arms to your sides with the palms face down. Next breath, lift up. Right, lift up through the crown of the head. Keep the back of the neck long. Extend out through fingers and toes. Maybe lifting everything up a little higher. And then lower all the way back down. Hands by the low ribs. And push back into child's pose. Right, taking a moment to pause. Arms forward or arms back. Or you can bend elbows and stack the hands and rest the forehead onto hands. Reconnecting with your breath. Right, what's the quality of your breath in this moment? What are you feeling and what do you sense? And let's come forward into tabletop. All right, and let's start to add on a little bit more. Let's walk our hands to the right side of the mat. Step that left foot forward next to the hands. Tuck the right toes under and sweep both arms up and over for low lunge. I start to lift that right knee up, cactus the arms, sweeping arms back up, coming into high lunge. Pivot onto the sole of that right foot. Right, start to reach the arms out wide, coming into warrior two. You can take a moment to reset your stance. Get tall through the spine. Extend out through the fingertips. Looking over your left hand. Flip the left palm up. Lowering the right hand back and stretching that right or left arm up. Rise up into warrior two and start to hinge forward, bending into that left arm, placing it onto the thigh, reaching that right arm overhead for extended side angle. On your next breath, planting the right hand down, spin your right heel up and reach that left arm up for twisting lunge. Let's sweep that left arm under the right, stretching across the shoulder, and then reach that left arm back up. 2 more times, sweeping that arm under, reach back up. And 1 more time, thread the arm under, reaching back up. Let's plant the left hand down. Start to walk the hands forward, shifting the weight forward. Again, maybe coming up onto those right toes, maybe leaning forward a little more and lifting the right leg up, and just hold here. And then bending into that right knee, step the right foot forward, finding your standing forward fold. Let's lift and lengthen halfway. Fold forward, rising up, taking arms up and over, staying tall and standing, taking arms to your sides for mountain pose. Let's take hands to heart center, feeling the weight between the feet. Let's shift the weight into the left foot, lifting the right knee up and flex that right foot. Start to tip the torso forward and slow in with control. Let's extend that right leg back, taking the toes down onto the mat, sweeping arms up and over, coming into your high lunge, sweeping hands down onto the mat. Let's step the left foot back, finding your plank. Again, knees up or knees down. Lower all the way down onto the mat. Untuck the toes. And let's reach the arms out behind us and interlace fingers behind the back. Right, start to pull the knuckles towards the heels. Start to curl up, lifting legs up off the mat. Send the heart forward. Lift up through the crown of the head. And then let's lower all the way back down. Hands by the low ribs. Push back into your tabletop. Same flow on the other side. Let's walk the hands over to the left side of the mat. Step that right foot forward next to the hands. Tucking the left toes under. Let's lift that left knee up. Pivot onto the sole of that left foot. Rising all the way up into warrior two. All right, take this time to just set your stance. Keep the spine tall, right? Stacking spine over the pelvis. Really extend out through the fingertips, right? Hug your right hip back. Lift that inner left thigh back. Let's flip the right palm up. Lower the left hand down and stretch the right arm up for reverse warrior. Coming back into warrior two. Hinging forward, bending into that elbow and placing it onto the thigh. Reach that left arm over. Next breath, plant that left hand down. Spin the left heel up and stretch the right arm up. Let's sweep that right arm under the left. Open back up. 2 more times. Thread the arm under. Open back up. And last time, reaching that arm under. Stretching back up. Plant the right hand down. Walking hands forward towards the top of the mat. Right, start to lean forward.
Maybe coming up onto those left toes. Maybe leaning forward a little more and lifting that left leg up. And then step that left leg forward next to the right. Coming into your standing forward fold. Lift and lengthen halfway. Fold forward once again. Rise up to stand. Reaching arms up and over. And then taking arms to your sides for mountain pose. Taking hands to heart center. And just focusing on evening the weight through both feet. And then start to shift the weight into the right foot. Lift the left knee up. Flex the left foot. Tipping the torso forward. Start to kick that left leg out behind you and step the toes back. Coming into your high lunge, sweeping arms up and over. Let's take hands down onto the mat. Step the right foot back, finding your plank. Knees up or knees down. Lower all the way down onto the mat. Untuck the toes, taking arms out behind you. Again, interlace fingers behind the back. Maybe interlacing fingers the opposite way. And then when you're ready, pull the knuckles back. Start to lift up. Lift the legs up off the mat. Right, lift the chest up and away. Lift up through the crown of the head. And then lower all the way back down. Hands by the low ribs. And push back into child's pose. Right, arms forward or arms back. Or you can bend the elbows and stack hands. Resting forehead onto hands. Again, just a moment here to pause. Stay connected with your breath. And just tuning into your awareness. And just experiencing all the sensations that are happening in the body right now. And then coming up into tabletop. Let's walk the hands to the right side of the mat. Step that left foot forward. Tuck the right toes under. Lift the right knee up. Pivot onto the sole of that right foot. Bending into the left elbow and placing the arm onto the thigh. Reaching that right arm up and over for extended side angle. Right, press through that right foot. Get longer across the right side body. On your next breath, rise up into warrior two. Start to straighten into that left leg. Let's lower the right arm down. Reach the left arm up for reverse triangle. Rise up through center, hinging forward. Let's lower the left arm down. Reach the right arm up for triangle pose. All right, get tall through the spine and widen across the chest. Right, maybe looking up towards the hand. Right, maybe looking forward. Right, maybe spinning that inner right thigh out behind you. And just hold here for a breath. And then turning down to look towards the toes. Let's sweep that right arm underneath the left, right? Stretching over and across the back of the shoulder, and then open back up. 2 more times. Thread the right arm underneath the left, and open back up. Last time. Thread the arm under, and then open back up. Let's take the right arm down, right? Lifting the left hand off of the leg. Take that right arm and just place the back of the right hand to the outside of the left calf, and then place the left palm onto the right. Right, so hands together and the right hand on the outer left calf. Start to slide the arms down. Start to bend into that left knee. Spin the right heel up, bending into the elbows. Start to twist to the left, right? Finding twisting prayer lunge. Hold here in your lunge, right? Lift up through the crown of the head, and then unwind, right? Whoop. So leaning forward, hands at heart center in this lunge. Let's step that right foot forward next to the left. Keep bending into the knees, sending the hips back. Let's reach the arms forward. So sort of coming into this half forward fold with arms reaching out in front. Pressing the feet down into the mat, rising up to standing, and then lowering arms to your sides. And take a moment here. Find your breath. And let's circle arms up and over. Start to dive forward, making your way back into your standing forward fold. Lift and lengthen halfway. Fold forward and plant the hands, stepping the feet back, coming into your plank. All right, option for the knees. Lower down onto the mat. Untuck the toes. Extend the arms out in front. Palms face in. And on your next breath, lifting arms and legs up off the mat. Maybe lifting up a little higher. Lowering all the way back down. Hands by the low ribs. Push back into your tabletop. And we'll do that same flow on the other side. Let's walk the hands to the left side of the mat. Step that right foot forward next to the hands. Tuck the left toes under and lift the left knee up. Pivot onto the sole of the left foot. Bend into the right arm. Place it onto the thigh and sweep the left arm up and over for extended side angle. Right, root through that left foot. Stretch across the left side body. Rise all the way up into your warrior two. Straighten the right leg. Lower that left arm down. Stretch the right arm up. Rise up through center. Start to lean forward. Lower the right arm and reach the left arm up for triangle pose. Right, lift the heart up towards the ceiling. Lift up through the crown of the head. And then let's sweep that left arm under the right. Open back up. And once again, sweeping the arm under and then open. Last time. Sweep the arm under, stretch the hand to the right side. And then let's open back up. Let's look down towards the toes. Take that left arm down. Right hand off the leg. Left hand to the outside of the right calf. Place the right palm onto the left. So hands sort of in prayer. Start to slide the arms down. Start to bend into that right knee. Spin the left heel up. Bend the elbows. Twist to the right. Finding your twisting prayer lunge. Unwind. Torso leaning forward. And then let's step that left foot forward next to the right. Right, still hinging forward. Reach the arms out and then rise up to stand. Lowering arms to your sides for mountain pose. Let's circle the arms up and over. Dive forward, coming into standing forward fold. Lift and lengthen halfway. Fold forward and plant the hands. Step both feet back. Find your plank. Lower all the way down onto the mat. Let's untuck the toes, stretching the arms forward with the palms face in. On your next breath, lift the arms, lift the legs off the mat. Take everything up as high as you can, and then lowering all the way back down. Hands by the low ribs. Push back into tabletop. This time, just keep the arms stretching forward. And just take a moment here to pause. And staying in child's pose, let's walk the hands to the left. Maybe lean towards the right. Maybe even stacking the right hand on top of the left. And just stretching across the right side. And then walking hands through center. Take them over to the right. Lean to the left. Right, option to take that left hand on top of the right hand. And just stretch all across the left side. And then coming back to center. Let's make our way up to a seat. Swing the legs out in front. Setting up for a twist. Let's keep that right leg extended. Bend into the left knee. Take the sole of the left foot either inside or outside of the right leg. Flex the right foot and hug the thigh down into the mat. Left hand out behind you. And just lift and lengthen through the spine, reaching that right arm up. Start to twist to the left. You can take the elbow to the outside of the knee, or you can hug around the knee. Maybe grow just a little taller, and then find just a little bit more rotation. And then unwind, return to center, and let's switch sides. Extend the left leg, right? Bend into the right. Sole of the right foot, either inside or outside of the right leg or left leg. Flex your left foot and hug the thigh down into the mat. Right, lift up and grow tall. Right hand out behind you. Stretching the left arm up. Let's twist to the right. Again, elbow can come to the outside, or you can hug around the knee. Right, maybe grow just a little taller, and then find just a little bit more rotation. And then unwind. Let's extend both legs out and lower down onto the mat. And set up for a side bend on the mat. So extending the legs out. Let's walk the heels to the left. Stretch the arms out behind. Grab a hold of the right wrist with the left hand
And then start to stretch over to the left. Get long across the right side body. Right? Maybe cross one ankle on top of the other. Right? And it doesn't matter which one. You can test out either or and just decide if that feels good. Right? Maybe growing a little longer across the right side. Maybe breathe into those right ribs. We'll just hold here for a few breaths. And then release. Come back to center. And then setting up for the other side. Walking heels to the right. Stretch the arms up overhead. Holding on to that left wrist. Start to bend and lean towards the right. Stretch across the left side. Again, option to cross one ankle over top the other. Maybe breathe a little bit more into those left ribs. Really stretch across the left side body. And then release. Coming back to center and setting up into our final relaxation. You can just take the legs wide, let the feet roll to the sides, arms to your sides with the palms face up. You can use any additional props that you might be practicing with today just to help support you in your pose. And allow the body to get heavy. Relax the arms and legs. Relax the hips and soften the shoulders. Unclench the jaw and relax all the muscles in the face. And if you're ready to close your practice, start to deepen your breath, bringing awareness back into your body. Inviting movement into fingers and toes, inviting movement into arms and legs. Maybe rolling your head from side to side, just gently waking the body back up. If you'd like to do one more stretch, reaching arms up and over, take a deep inhale here and stretch all through the body. And on your exhale, letting everything go. Hugging knees in towards the chest, maybe rocking a little from side to side. Take a moment here to thank yourself for your practice today. And when you're ready, moving at your time, finding your way back up towards a seat. And thank you so much, everyone, for sharing your practice with me today. It is truly an honor and such a joy to share this practice. Sending gratitude for our practice and gratitude for our community. Wishing you all a beautiful rest of the day.
Peace.